Really?
Give me a second.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Seconds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a prayer, and all of our love goes out to Charlie Kirk's family. It was an absolute devastation what happened. You know, the biggest impacts for us, I think, would be the family aspect of it. He left 2 kids
And a wave.
and a wife. Yeah,
Yeah.
all he was taken way too young. I mean, myself and my wife are older than he is to do it.
And just to know how young they were, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, say prayer for that, and then a moment of silence.
I just wanted to give my best wishes out to his family. Want to make sure that they know that they're loved, that Charlie will be missed, but his death will not be in vain. I hope that they catch whoever it is and gives them the fullest extent that's allowed on the punishment. You know, and if that's getting them the help that they need for whatever conditions they might have. But truly, truly the help that is needed to recover from what's going on. You know, his family, they'll always be in our prayers. I'm pretty sure his wife is strong enough to get past this and to raise those daughters properly. It really sucks that they got robbed of of a father, but they should know that he helped a lot of people. So, a moment of silence, ladies and gentlemen.
I'd like to call upon the great guardian of the death, Anubis, to make sure that he is guarded and blessed, and that
Yes.
the family is kept safe by Horus's eye, and that Isis's motherly love will shine down upon them as well.
All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. What happened today? You know, I was out in town doing some stuff, and my main go-to source is Agenda Free. He will give it to you exactly how it is, and when he gets the information, you do too.
Is that the first one to tell you?
You were, yes.
I think because it was like literally 3 minutes, and it said it just would show up.
Yeah, you were the first one. I didn't know anything about it. I was driving, and you sent me everything, and so I mean, I didn't start watching any source until like half an hour, 45 minutes in, probably.
Yeah, so at that point they had no idea
Yeah.
he was alive or fatal or anything, so I like just happened to catch it just at the right time, you know?
Yes, you were definitely the first one. I hadn't seen anything else on it yet.
It's usually, that's like on your page, you'd see it before
Yeah.
I would.
You know, we lost a great father, you know, a great speaker. He was really good at what he did, so, you know.
I think that's what gets me the most is that, you know, he was just speaking about things he was passionate about. And
Yes.
I don't see how any of the things he was even talking about could be construed as being negative or bad or setting people back, but they were good, strong moral values.
Yes.
And it's like, so the fact that somebody got shot, I mean, that's literally no different than Martin Luther King.
It's not, no.
You know, it was like...
And it's like we saw some of the stuff on your page from the people that are against that.
Yeah, and that I'm going to have to cover that because you just don't speak ill of the dead. You know,
Yes.
It's no longer in our freaking domain. It's their domain. He's paid every debt that's been put against him in this life. Now it's up to the afterlife to decide. you know.
What's going to happen to him?
And for them to be saying, well, no fucks given because he was like the voice of hatred and racism and all this shit. It's like, that is so wrong. These people, that is how low and degenerate they are.
I know. They truly are.
I know.
You know, it hit really hard with this one. I mean, he was young. I think that's one of the biggest things. You know, he was young. It's like you had Trump that had the assassination attempt on twice or 3 times. I think we've heard, but I know of the 2 for sure. You know, Trump got lucky enough to be able to survive it, but it looks like with Trump they were trying to hit the same spot.
Right.
And I don't have any of the videos as far as when he got hit. I mean, I haven't even really been able to see him.
It's such a sorrowful month because we had the school shooting.
Yes.
We had that happen. We had
there was the bus the
train attack.
Train attack.
Yeah. There was that child who was assaulted by a trans-identifying person.
Yeah, that one, if any of you guys haven't heard, a trans-identifying man was, what do you call it, essayed a 3-year-old that it was one of the neighbors, he was close to it, and apparently it lasted quite a while with the parents in the house. They didn't know it was at night. And so he got away, and I mean, yeah, it's all bad. I mean, there's stuff that's going on in this world, and that's just it. With Trump coming into office, from my take on everything, is the left is doing their final push. They're trying to make sure that their agenda doesn't die, and so they're trying whatever they can to get their point across. And they're hitting hard, that is for sure.
I mean, even assaulting the street preachers and taking their stuff.
Yes.
They're so ramped up in comparison to when, Biden was in office.
Yes, very much so.
And it's like, if it wasn't so bad, why can't you just wait another 3 years and you have your shot, to do it again if that's what you really want? But they're so short-sighted and for lack of a better term, they're just stupid. The shit that they post, and it's freaking stupid. Not in an opinionated type of way, but in a literal educational sense. They're just stupid.
Exactly.
Ignorant of the facts and unwilling to learn the facts from anybody else.
And the thing that I have to say about this too is that Charlie Kirk will not have died in vain.
He's a martyr.
He's a martyr. With the causes that he had, with the stance that he had, you'll be sure that his stance will continue. And that's the great thing about YouTube also, is that his voice can now live on and be there as a reminder for everyone. What he's capable of, what he can do.
And just like with Martin Luther King being assassinated, it was because he was speaking truths. And he was trying to evoke a change in people. And so he was killed for it. And so was Charlie. And there are going to be people that refuse to make that comparison just because of race itself.
Exactly.
Say, well, he's not like Martin Luther King because he was an educated white guy, and but it is exactly the same thing. Anytime anybody's killed for speaking truth, you know that they're onto something.
They are, and that's just it. That's the biggest thing. He was onto something, and that's why they had to take him out.
I think it's something about JFK too.
Yeah, JFK. JFK was assassinated on those points too. I mean, when they know more, they see more.
He was the only Democrat that was saying, ask what you can do for your country.
Yes.
And that was too Republican of an idea for them, but they didn't like this policy.
Exactly. The left, they'll go to any distance just to shut people up or keep it all in a box. They don't like it. So, all right, what we'll do is I've got a few clips here of different people that made statements on this incident. So I'm hoping that we can get into that and see what's up. I believe, let me see what I got first. I don't have it hooked up. Let me get this done first. We just watched a Dr. Phil statement on it, and he is beyond. I mean, he can't even get certain words out.
He repeated himself like 4 times.
Yeah, he did. He repeated himself saying he was shot. He's killed. They assassinated him. Like, it was just like unreal to him. He was a good friend. I've got one that we'll go over. Like I said, I can't play Dr. Phil's because that whole channel is copyright and I'll get in trouble, so I'm not doing that. But I do have we have Trump, I've got Isaac, and the Abolitionist Rising. He's got like a 17-minute video on it, so I'll be happy to share those with you. And we'll see if we got more time. Then I'm gonna have this video over here. Let me hook it up. But if we have more time, I'll find more on YouTube that we can go over. And we'll just see and share some memories. Maybe I'll find old Charlie videos to go over if we have time. We'll get some memories out there.
So when it started, change my mind debate.
Yes. Okay. Like I said, this first one will be. Did you have something to say? I'm sorry.
So Ibn Guru has used that for one of his thumbnails. The change my mind.
Yes. All right, I'm gonna mute our side. We'll watch this, and then if I need to pause, I'll talk, and we'll go over this. Let's see what Trump had to say about it.
I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died. the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
That was a really good, well done speech.
That was a very well done speech. And hey, Sancho, good to see you. He said, me and my friend talked about this all day.
Isn't that crazy?
It's an absolute devastation to have learned about it and to have had it happen.
This is the consequences of speaking truth in a lawless, godless society.
Yes, it is. You know, with the left, it's crazy. It's like they're zombies to make sure that the good doesn't go on.
Yeah, they're literally demonically driven. I mean, like most of politics are, but you can definitely see that in action with that side and things that they tell you to make you feel comfortable. Like like they are the good guys. That they are
Yes.
looking out for you, and they're literally demonically driven.
Exactly. I mean, it comes down to the abortions too.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's like, oh, it's just a clump of cells. It's not a living thing.
Right.
Okay, so then why do you need the abortion to get rid of it if it's not a living thing?
Right. Exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
And Charlie Kirk was a huge proponent of that as well, speaking out against that. And he had a slight sense of arrogance to him from time to time, but most of it was done with like humor and everything.
Yes.
I don't know. That is a big fucking blow, but that was a really good speech.
That was Trump did a very, very good speech on that one, and I expected a little more emotional, but he reined it in.
Yeah, you want to do that.
Yeah.
Because you want it to be strong.
Exactly. And I mean, with the way that the left had our office with Biden, it was like, yeah, imagine Biden talking about it.
I don't even think he would ever what was going on, to be honest.
No, he was so dimension ridden that
He wouldn't know. I honestly don't think he knew anybody outside of his own handlers.
no, he didn't.
He wouldn't know who Charlie Kirk even was.
No. But yeah, it's it's a sad day to see that happen. But as Trump said too, it's like with social media comes the grand scale of you will always have his voice. He will always be around. You will not have any issue with somebody being able to look up his name and saying,
and
"Hey,
find out exactly what his values are.
yes." And his values are everything that this country, this world needs. You know?
I kind of feel the same way. I know that we repeat ourselves a lot on our own live streams, but it's like documenting that process for even us later on down the line, so you can see exactly what our values were every
Yes.
single time that we did this. And it's just like, it's a small thing for us. Maybe someday it'll be a big thing, but it's just really, I want to do it for us.
Yeah, just do it so it's out there. Because I mean, you never know. You could get some.
Somebody could stumble upon
I mean, we got Sancho here.
it.
He found us.
And so that's just a bonus.
Yeah.
But like somebody like him, I mean, yeah, that's infinite. He's immortalized forever.
Exactly. And his kids will be able to every day look him up
And see what his principles were.
And
his
know-
guiding advice.
and know what he was able to do to people's minds.
I mean, he changed a lot of people's minds at the
Yes.
colleges and stuff.
He did.
He was supposed to come to Bakersfield.
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah,
When was that?
I don't remember.
I forgot about that. Because we had talked about going.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean,
You just like that, you never know.
exactly, you don't. I mean, It's like with Tom Petty. He passed away, and we just barely got to see him in concert. You never know.
And it goes for your own personal life as well.
Yeah, that's dang true. I mean, you don't want to leave anything unturned because if you do, and something happens,
Yeah.
then it's done. You'll never know. And I mean, with our take on this world, is that you're here, but you're not done. Once death comes for you, you just advance on and move to the next phase.
Yeah. You're still serving in some capacity and
Yes.
based on like the performance that you did while you were here. And well, that's how different angels come to be and everything.
Exactly. Sancho said, "We said so much valuable things regarding on what happened to Kirk. Too much to summarize here." Well, there's a lot to talk about with him. There truly is. He was an unbelievable speaker. You know, he knew his stuff.
And he founded Turning Point so that
Yes.
young college students could get into the political sphere and
The what do you call it? Not just Turning Point, but the whole youth conferences that they had for kids to go and
Right.
better themselves and become bigger.
Right.
I mean, he had a big hand in that. I mean, he's done so much trying to get the youth back to where they need to be.
I mean, because like it's okay for a handful of us to be apathetic about like politics, but if everybody was apathetic about politics, there would be no structure. There would be like no democracy.
Yes.
There would be nothing. And even people like us that don't have a hand in it should still know, so we
Exactly.
can talk morally and spiritually about those standpoints.
Yes.
Like politically, but like it seems like nobody. I don't know. It's kind of going through a thing. Like nobody wanted to be involved. Nobody wanted to. It didn't matter. It doesn't. Nihilistic approach on
Yeah.
politics. And then all of a sudden, there's some people that are just super hyper focused on it. It makes it every part of their everyday life is the Democrats this and the Republicans that and us versus them, and it's like their entire world.
Yes.
Like there's no good balance and no common sense.
It's exactly right.
And I guess that's why they made this Turning Point, so you could have new people.
Yeah, so that you could see.
Common sense.
Yeah, common sense needs to prevail in the world that we live in. Sancho said, "As a Red Pillar and MRA, I honestly did not follow Kirk too much, but I know he was courageous and a valuable member of society. He said my best friend actually followed him more." And yes, I just had started following him more. Like, I really didn't listen to much of his stuff, but recently I had been getting into more of his stuff. His outlook on the way it was and just how it is. I mean, really, I was just starting to get into what he was saying.
Yeah, I watched like a lot of his stuff throughout, but like only because it was in like relevance to another YouTuber that I've been watching. Like Bo will have said something about him.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, and I went and go and see what that happened. And I used to watch the Change My Mind debates like all the time.
Yeah.
And they were just short. They were just like short little things.
And he started that.
Yeah.
He started that Change My Mind.
And yeah, like good stuff. I mean, like I didn't really like his political stance of being basically like,
Yeah.
a kiss ass.
Yeah, he was a little too much on the kiss and follow Trump's ways.
No matter what.
No matter what way, and we didn't like that so much. I mean, but that's not for us to say. I mean, that's his path. That was what he wanted to do, and nobody deserves the treatment that he got.
No.
From my understanding about what happened, it was brutal.
Like everything else, though, it's like family values and men taking leadership and stuff about getting back to religion and all of this stuff. Like none of that was bad. That's what.
Yeah.
Gets me. It's like
absolutely.
How can somebody just snuff out a like?
Because they don't care.
A disagreeing thought.
Sancho said, "Even Jesus said, 'Do not make peace with evil, destroy it.' He said, to summarize what I said, we need to take action."
I know a lot of people are feeling that way, and I knew that was going to happen.
See, that's just it. I don't think that the other side thought it through when they did it, because
they
now.
Did, so that we can look like the bad guys.
Yeah, they could, but now I got a feeling that the other side is going to take action, and it's going to be worse. And
This is what I heard. I don't know if you can hear me over there. This is what I heard earlier. They were like, they've always portrayed us as the violent right. And they said, but we haven't lifted a finger until now. And so there's like a bunch of people that are like, let's show them how violent we can be. And it's like, they've started some shit.
yeah, it's gonna get nasty. You know, I mean, Charlie was loved by so many people,
And a good example, you know?
and like I said at the beginning, it's like his family is going to be the most destroyed for it.
I know, and these bitches, these feminist bitches, they don't think about that. You know?
Yes.
They say no fucks given.
So I mean, it's absolutely devastating. And to that point, I've got a video of a statement made by somebody not from the United States. He's from where? Australia. And he actually made a statement on it. So I just wanted to bring this because it just shows how big this truly is. That even people from other countries are being like, well, hey, I knew who he was. So I'll get on with that one.
If you haven't seen the reports, Charlie Kirk has died after being fatally shot in the neck. I don't know if you'd call it at a rally, but at least an event that he held. And honestly, I'm currently in Texas at a hotel, and it's weird, man. Like, we have seen a lot of violence in America over the past week, and fuck, I don't know. I don't even know what. I just feel so sorry for his family. Like, I was not a huge fan of Charlie Kirk. I wasn't not a fan. I wasn't a fan. I didn't know anything about him. He seemed like a good dude who just sort of, I don't know, he had strong beliefs. And I guess that leaves us with the question. Are some people so terrified of other people's beliefs politically that they would resort to violence? And the obvious answer is yes. It's the same that happened with Trump. Like, you just got these crazy people that are infected with these ideas from the media and from social media. And I know, like, right-wing people cop a lot of shit. They're like, oh, well, you know, you're a bad person for X, Y, or Z. But from what I've seen from people who would classify themselves as far left people celebrating this tragedy where a young man, a young father, a young husband who just has opinions, that they've celebrated it to this enormous degree. And it just, I sat there, I watched the video, and I don't know. If you can watch that video and celebrate it, I don't care who Charlie is. Like, you can't celebrate something like that unless they're actually like maybe if they're like a real.
All right, we can barely hear it on our end as far as Isaac goes. I don't know what's up, but YouTube's been doing this with a lot of videos for some reason. But from what he just said on that, and I fully agree how sick and disgusting this is, the fact that there are those who can celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
He was just saying, he was like, you know, he's like, there are those groups that will celebrate this. And he said, and he was like, you know, he's like, if you can celebrate something like this, he was like, I don't know.
I don't want you anywhere near me, dude. That's like, you know. They were comparing him to Hitler, though, and they're like, well, should we say that we shouldn't be celebrating Hitler's death? And it's like, yes, you shouldn't be.
No, you shouldn't, because
it's a solemn occasion either way. He's going to get what's handed to him.
Yes, that's the full thing of our side. Okay, at death, you should not celebrate somebody's death, because at the point of death, they have now paid their penance and done what was asked of them. They died. Now you let the gods go on and do their judgment to them.
and just have faith in the fact that they are. You know?
Yes. So it no longer becomes our business. You let them be, and you do not think bad, ill-willed against the dead.
It's like
That's big.
even with people that are extremely deserving of it, it's okay to feel relief and to feel, I guess, some semblance of happiness or joy or whatever, but you still have to react accordingly.
Yeah, you do not go and say it on social media
Uh-uh.
and be like, "Oh my God, I'm celebrating! You know, this racist is now dead," which he never was a racist that I ever saw.
No, it's just the way that he would say things. They would project their own insecurities onto that, and they said that he was racist. And it's like, just because he points out statistics and says that, you know, like most of the shooters or the crime people or happen to be of African American descent, they're like, oh, he's racist.
Yeah,
Even though it's a provable fact, what he's saying.
exactly. And Sancho just said, "Long Walker family, you don't have to take action. Some of us will do that later."
That's fine.
It's exactly right.
We'll witness and record.
Yep. You know, it's like he did not deserve this in any means. So Sancho, can you guys hear Isaac okay when he was going? Just so I know, because otherwise I'll just stop the video. But I'll keep going if everybody else can hear. They can
You
understand.
can also put captions up. Do you know how to do that?
No.
Okay, when you go to Isaac's video, you see a little tab that says CC.
Okay.
Hit that, and then we can read it.
Let me see what Sancho says first, and we'll.
But yeah, I know that it's gonna get
Okay,
ugly.
cool.
And the only action that we can take is to live out as we have been, which is completely against the grain of the liberal thinking anyway.
Yes.
So that's our way of rebellion, you know?
And, you know, for the standards that I do with this show, for everything going on, I am in the same boat that Charlie is. I do have to worry for myself.
Just wanna, like, not so global.
Yeah, I'm not as big as him, and
But anytime anybody's speaking truth.
yes, truth will bring outrage.
I mean, you saw even when Guru had his first video,
Yep,
and he says a little bit of stuff that's a little ramped up, and look how many people came for him then.
I know.
You know, so it's like, yeah, I worry about you when you go, like, not just to events, but, you know, just even at the shows.
Yeah, I know. Just like the San Francisco one,
Yes,
and all I did was witness.
yes. And so it's like, you do have to worry, and it's like
So-
you don't have to say, like I said, it's not like on a global scale yet.
No.
It could be someday, but it doesn't matter because they'll fight you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it'll
If
happen.
even one person from that side were to have seen this
Yes,
and then recognize me out,
right.
they'd be like, "Oh, he's with him." You know, probably make up some story that I'm like his closest best friend or something.
Well, particularly since you are like people of your demographic are now being targeted more than anybody.
Yeah,
You know, you're like of the European descent. You know, and they're like really ramping up crimes against. I mean, you saw it on the fucking the stabbing on the train
yes,
or the bus or whatever.
yeah. The train in New York, right? Which was just insane to me. It's like that woman did not see it coming. She got on, she sat down. The black guy that was right behind her just stands up right in the throat again. What is the significance lately of the throat?
It's the chakra. It's the third chakra is communications and voicing things.
See?
So it's like a big fuck you to that. Like,
Well,
better shut up.
well, like I said, it's they're panicking.
Yeah.
They know the truth's coming out. They know that they're being shut down again. We will not go back to that.
Oh my god. And it's like they don't realize how good they have it. There's so much privilege that
Yes.
goes along living and complaining about the shit that they complain about. It's
You know, and we're betting. I don't know. I haven't heard of any killer getting caught yet. I know at one point they thought they had somebody, and then it turned out they didn't. And then, wait, I think we just did see something, but I don't know for sure. I think there was somebody caught. I think the FBI reported that the killer is in custody. But yes, so I hope that that Trump does whatever he can to see that the person gets the death penalty.
And I can almost guarantee there's a whole group behind that.
Yeah.
It's like Antifa or something, you know?
Oh, I'm sure. You know, and it's gonna come out more than likely that it was either trans, non-binary, or some offshoot of that.
Right. You said there was a non-binary person that's a person of mistress, right?
Yeah, that like Curly had posted about and stuff like that, and the person had said something about, oh, Charlie's coming to my school tomorrow, and I wish somebody would just evaporate him.
Yes.
And then the next one posted that same guy did what it was a non-binary guy. The same night, he said, "Oh, it's going to be a very interesting day tomorrow."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you know
really?
something.
Yeah. And then I've heard rumors that it was a professor at the school that did it. And I know that they were looking for somebody that shot from the building that was like to the side of Charlie. they bystanders had gotten video, and there was video going around of a guy running on a rooftop. And it's like, you know that once they get that much information, it's only a matter of time before they catch the guy, because facial recognition, everything
Yeah,
will have the guy pinpointed.
no way to get away with anything like
No,
that.
there's
No
not.
way. There's just no way.
So I mean, you know, justice will be given, and I mean, even if the cops don't get him first, I mean, another group gets him. That's on him.
It's just really symbolic, though. It's just really symbolic, like you said, getting shot through the throat and being somebody who
Speaks and lets other people speak freely.
Yes. Yes.
He never once came off on anybody for, oh, you know, saying this or that. He would say, well, actually, this is right, or this is actually what's going on.
They would ask him, well, why do you feel that way? What
Yes.
evidence do you have to support that? And give them the opportunity to present it.
He was the biggest free speech activist.
Yeah. And so it's really symbolic, and it's like his main core value was family, and they just obliterated that.
Yeah. And I think one of the other things that I'm waiting for, and that even the person that we watched from you had brought up, was the whole gun control thing already.
Yeah.
And saying, oh, well, he said that he's willing to sacrifice a few people, you know, in order to keep the Second Amendment gun rights and this and that. It's like, yeah. And if Charlie was here, he would say, listen, if it had to be me, then it has to be me.
Right.
I mean, he wouldn't wish it on himself because of his kids.
Right, but it's.
But
we would all say if you were going to back something up like that,
yeah.
Of course.
And I guarantee he would say the same thing.
Change his mind just because it had to be that way. He'd still
Yeah.
want his wife to be with security protection. He'd still want that for his daughters.
Yeah. To know. And it's like, I don't think anybody foresaw Charlie being the target of something like this. This was really off the wall and just far left.
I mean, he's super like famous compared to like other YouTubers, but he is still in fact pretty much just a YouTuber. You know, like he wasn't really in the huge political sphere.
Yeah, I know. Sancho said the question is why we are not taking precautions against the radical left, like we should see in the media and government institutions, to defend yourself against the tyrannical left.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole thing about the Second Amendment was to keep yourself from the government.
Exactly.
So that the government never became too powerful.
Right.
That we're already starting to see.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt that this turns out to be something from the government.
I mean, I thought the same thing too. It's like, I mean, that could very well be a political like on.
You know, it wouldn't be from Trump. The order wouldn't to come, but I
it
mean,
could be if they wanted to buy a left MAGA people so that they're doing what they're
Well,
talking
yeah.
about doing.
yes.
I mean, it's a possibility, but I just can't see them like willingly sacrificing family for that.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a weird way to go.
But like you said, this is a big martyrism.
Uh-huh.
I mean, sacrificing somebody that is the whole embodiment of family.
Yeah. And good old fashioned values and hard work. And
Yes.
remember, we just watched one not that long ago, a couple weeks ago, when he was talking to those people, and every time there was somebody who worked at a trade school, he was like, "God bless you." He's like,
Yeah.
"We need more of you."
because you don't have enough laborers in this country to make it work. And so you are the real backbone of this country.
Exactly, and that's true.
And he said with every single one of them that worked in trade school.
We should be written down in society that we are the normal victims against the left.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's so true. I agree. I mean, they've done some really damaging things to people physically, emotionally, mentally, politically, small government, big government.
Yes,
They've put us in a really precarious position.
they have.
And it's like for a while, I mean, they want to talk about like free speech. For a while, you couldn't even say. They said you had to. They had damn tapes, and you had to respect people's pronouns and shit.
I know. That was the biggest thing under the Biden administration.
Yeah.
That's what they made.
Yeah.
And it was like they were making the left and the trans the what do you call it? The minority.
Yeah.
It's like no. This is what you have to go off,
Right.
and that's not right.
I mean, like everywhere you looked at every ad, they're only supposed to represent 1% of the population, but they're in every single commercial. They're in every single ad.
Yeah.
They're talking to children at school. They're like pushing this shit all around. You got those disgusting books in the goddamn costumes
Yes.
and shit. No, that's normal.
That's
fine.
normal.
Totally normal. And
But
it's
yet
like,
there was one ad that talked about good genes,
from a white girl.
and everybody loses their mind over it.
Literally, yeah. It's like, I'm sorry that she's not a fat, overweight, short-haired, dykey black woman, but
Exactly.
It's like,
And there's been stuff going around now of a fat woman
I know. I thought I
that
saw
same
that.
way.
I thought that was.
I'm like, are you kidding me? So you still have to cave?
I don't know. I think it might be fake, but
I really hope it was.
satirical take on it. But yeah.
All right, let's finish Isaac's, and then we'll talk more.
Horrific person, but that wasn't Charlie. No way. Are you serious? He's a guy who has opinions. A lot of them are based in religion too. And if he was of another religious denomination and he had those opinions, we would be told to respect them. I just think the violent side of this shit has to stop. And people are calling, like Andrew Tate tweeted, oh, it's civil war, all this shit. No. You can't fight fire with this shit. This is this whole divide and conquer thing. It's almost like what they're trying to do. You have to excuse Addy in the background. He's a bit upset. He's very jet lagged at the moment. He was up last night for hours. He kicked me in the head, and I think he chipped me too. I just feel. And what hit me hard about it, like, is having a young son, and he had a young child, and knowing that young child now doesn't have a dad forever. Oh, the wife. Fuck. As I said, I didn't know him from a bar of soap. I didn't know his content too well. I've seen all the viral clips that you've all probably seen. But he seemed like a fine dude. And I'm just so sorry that it happened to his family. All because of some fucking lunatic, for some reason, deciding that he had to take this person's fucking life. Crazy madness. Unsettling too, and it's been confirmed by Donald Trump that he is in fact dead. I think most people saw the video, and anyone who did see the video thought there's no chance. I spoke to a guy who's a lot of military experience, and he said he's seen one person survive a shot like that. Other people were saying he had a 5% chance, but being that far from a hospital, and I just wish he wasn't doing these fucking events that's open out in the open air. You should be able to do them, right? Of course. It's the same with Trump when he got shot. It's like, what are you doing out in the open like this? It's not safe. At least not in the United States. I don't know. I don't even know what to think. Obviously, this is a sort of a swift video to make. It only just happened, but I guess we were all talking. Everyone I was traveling with, we were all talking about it, and I thought I may as well talk to you guys about it too. Like the fact that some people are so bought into their religion, and by religion I mean their politics, that they would go and take another man's life or another woman's life. It's just madness. And if the shooter is the shooter that's been reported early, like he's just some fucking psycho, but he had quite a long list of arrests and had broken the law in other previous occasions. And you got to ask yourself, what are these people doing on the street? It's the same guy, the same thing with the guy on the bus who stabbed that Ukrainian girl. And that's another horrific video. And a lot of people will be like, oh, well, Charlie Kirk was pro-gun. Mate, that's the most fucking insane position to have. Like, there's people saying, oh, he's pro-gun, so he deserved it. You're a cunt. You're a horrible person if you think that. So, hug your loved ones tight. That's what I'm going to go and do. And it makes you think. Like, I know I'm not in the same sort of circles as Trump and Charlie Kirk, but even the videos I make, like, I know I make fun of people and shit. But how many of those deranged human beings want to fucking try and take me out? Or anyone on the internet? Saw it with Friendly Geordies in Australia when he had a firebomb attempt on his house. Like, there's crazy people out there all over the world. It's not just America. Yeah, and Addie's upset. I'm going to go and help Claire with him. But I'm sorry to Charlie's family.
It's been a couple of hours since.
All right, we'll go over that one in a minute. That's the Abolitionist. He has like a 16-minute video. I'm really interested to see that one. He's the new one that we've been watching. But I was just filling Nefer in here that he was saying that he had to go, and he has to go help his wife with the kid because they had jet lag. They just got in somewhere, and so he was just saying he's got to go, but he was like, "I'm so sorry, Charlie's family," and then ended it. But again, it's like all of them. It's
Any rational, sane white person who's
Yeah.
got to think about the family, you know?
yeah, it's the worst thing. It's like he has two. He said something about a son, but
Yeah,
I think
it's both daughters.
it's both daughters, and he's got these kids now, really young, that will never grow up with their dad. That's the saddest thing that you can think of. With a daughter, yes, the mother's important, but the father is very vital for setting up that backbone of the way the family should be.
Unless she's extremely strong, then those daughters have a really big chance of ending up just like the rest of the leftist women.
Yes.
Not trusting men or, not having a man in life, to guide them and shit and running to the first toxic one that comes along.
It's, yeah. I mean, I wish them all the best of luck. Like I said, I'm pretty sure his wife's a very strong woman. I hope her all the strength that she can muster to get over this and to make sure that family is, in great working order. I mean, it's a terrible thing.
You said Charlie has a father too. I don't know how old he is. He'd be,
Yeah.
60 or 70 probably.
That seems about right, yeah.
So we can still help with those girls.
Yeah. Let's hope. And I mean, that would be a good start. Because if the father's any way that Charlie is, then she should be, because that's how Charlie became that way.
Well, not necessarily, but since they're still talking and shit, then yeah.
Yeah.
Since they seem to be on really good terms, and most
Exactly.
likely.
It's not just no matter how on the nose it is that the radical left is evil, they still won't admit that they are evil. They could even say that they are evil or kill. They won't refrain. They're to them, we're the evil ones. We're the ones that don't understand. The other side is. They're the ones that don't understand, or because to them, they're thinking with their right mind to that point, and it's like they're not seeing how out of the ballpark they really are. They just hit one far left, when in reality, or to them, yeah, they hit one far left, and to their point, they think they hit it straight down the middle.
It's somehow their mental gymnastics make up for it, and I think that this is like perfectly provable what they're saying.
Yeah.
And it's like it very rarely is, and very rarely any science behind it. It's always just emotions.
And we've got a lot of people that are on our friends groups that have been all around, and so many of them from the left. It's like, oh, okay, I'm not gonna post any more political stuff. Oh, I'm not gonna do that, and they're just keep doing it.
And they do it anyway, yeah.
And it's like, why? And it's like, how they can even think that way, I don't know. It's like they're brainwashed to the highest standards.
The best way to stick it to either side of the government is just to live your life.
Yes.
Just to do what you're supposed to do. Like, I'm starting to get to that point where I want to withdraw away from all of social media and stuff again, because every time I get on, there's like, it doesn't matter what the subject is. It doesn't matter if it's about breastfeeding or if it's about buying a plastic toy for a child. There's people in the comments that just rip into each other.
Yeah.
Like, they have such an opinion about this little thing, and there's another person with a big opinion about a little thing, and they're just going back and forth on this thread, and it's like comical for a few minutes, but then it's like, are you kidding me, you guys? Do you have nothing else to do but to sit here on the internet and argue with a stranger that has no bearing on your life whatsoever?
Well, and I mean, that brings me to a point too, that this is how the government wants to keep the people. The only way that the government wins is by keeping the people divided. As long as we're divided, we can't rise up and be a threat.
It was said back in Lincoln's time,
Yes.
and it's been true since, and it was true before.
And that's why so many people need to get past their differences and see
Focus
that,
on
hey, we need to come together and make a world that's so much better.
A little
That
bit of this,
we help each
a
other.
little bit of that.
Community gardens,
Right.
community farming plots.
Just giving away your services, and then people helping you by giving away their services.
Yes.
Like the way it used to be.
And it's like another way of it is turning people vegan.
Mm-hmm.
Keep them away from meats, which weakens people's abilities.
Yeah. Not strong anymore. I mean,
Yeah,
I went vegan for a year, and I dropped down to 90 pounds, and it was like horrible.
Yeah.
It was just like, it just can't work out here,
yeah. In our areas, it cannot. It will not work. It cannot work.
You work too hard
Yes,
and carry too much to be able to like just eat plant-based food like all the time.
exactly.
It's just never going to happen. So in order to serve more animals and do right by them, I have to consume meat so that I have the energy to do so.
And I mean, animals prefer to be
Predators are omnivores.
Yeah, I mean, they don't go to plants. They have eaten some plants, but they don't go to all plants. You don't see an animal going, yeah, I think I'll just go to all plants and stay away from meat.
Yeah, I mean, well, like predators.
Yes,
But
predators.
because, horses, watch out. She's tangled. Horses and everything, of course, they're purely herbivores.
Yeah, they are. But I'm just talking about like canines, like pups and
Yeah,
cats.
carnivores.
Yeah, carnivores.
And then, that's the thing that gets me is the cats. Cats have to eat meat, and they don't really eat any grains or any veggies, like, at all. Like,
Yes.
such a minute amount that might be found in the animal's stomach. That's it. So, have to eat meat. Have to. And you have all these people talking about making vegan cat food. They can live. They can. It's like they die of such an inflamed ass liver because of that.
Because they're not supposed to.
Like, I had a cat that lived 15 years on that diet. I'm like, yeah, it was probably in pain every single day of its life. You know?
Yes.
And it's like they try to make the animals go that way. No animal's willingly doing that, you know.
No.
Like, yeah, go eat some berries over
Well,
here or something.
It's
you
the funniest ones to watch that you see the people. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put both foods down in front and see which one that the animal goes to. And it's like the
Almost
full-on
every
meat
time.
one. The cat's
Every
like
time.
just diving for.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Shit, I've seen that so many times.
I
it's
know.
the stupidest shit.
All right, we're gonna sit down and listen to what the abolitionist had to say about it. We started just watching him not that long ago. I'm really interested to hear this. We'll pause it probably a couple of times to talk about it. So let's get into it.
Since the news broke that Charlie Kirk was shot, very quickly after he was shot and the video was circulated and various people were talking on social media, it was clear that he would not be living through this attack. He is a political figure. This is an assassination. I was at the office whenever I heard about it. I immediately was, we were distraught there. The entire Abolitionist Rising staff that was there got together, prayed for Charlie and his family. And at the time, we were already aware that he had not made it. And eventually, I headed home. This was not going to be news that, of course, my wife and family were going to love to hear. I'm a flea compared to sort of the whale that Charlie Kirk is, but I go on college campuses and I talk to students about things that the left disagrees with, and I'm often, hated, not nearly as hated as a guy like Charlie Kirk, but I run into lots of comments on our channel, frequently reading comments about like how brave it is to go on a college campus. You better be protected. And I always look at those comments, like how courageous, and I always think it's really not that courageous. I'm just going on to a college campus to talk to people about ideas and have an exchange. And what's courageous about that? Like, it's easy. There's nothing scary. People are like, you're on the front lines. And I'm always like, yeah, and other soldiers are on the front lines. Like, people are going off into battle, and yeah, those people are courageous. But we live in a country where people who just want to go onto a college campus and talk about ideas and important matters are actually putting their lives in danger. And that's sick. But I'll tell you one thing, we're not going to stop going to campuses or going out into the culture of death and trying to talk to people and change hearts and minds, because the fact of the matter is that is what's wrong with our world. It's not that people have guns, it's that people use those guns to shoot people that they hate in their hearts. They hate them in their hearts, and that's just an expression of the murder that is within them, and they often carry it out. And so, of course, Abolitionist Rising, we're going to still go out. We're going to still talk to people. We're going to still engage everyone that we can. But this sort of thing does make it difficult. And maybe this insane shooter, maybe that's what he's thinking. Maybe he's thinking, yeah, this might galvanize the right. This might make them all, this might hurt my cause, my godless liberal leftist, whatever his cause is, whatever comes out. Maybe he's thinking, yeah, this is going to hurt the cause, but at least that guy will not be out there talking. His videos are not going to be out there circulating on social media. His conferences, his stuff, it's all going to be put to an end. And to him, the equation is it'll be worth it. And maybe if we gun down one of them, others like him or less than him or just that are thinking about doing similar things, maybe they'll stay home. But we can't stay home. Because if we stay home, the worldview that leads people to murder other people.
All right, wait, everyone. I mean, I love what this guy has to say. It's exactly right. It's, you could not let them win. They want you to stay home. They want you not to go and protest against them. They want you to be in the fray. And it's like, to all the fellow people out there that do this, you guys are saints and you guys do this with pride. I mean, I'm proud of all of you. Bo, her Patriot voice, Liberty, Nicholas, one of the main guys that we watch.
And James Klug.
James Klug, there's Adam Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Adam, I mean, all of them.
All of those people and a million more that are just like young kids starting out,
And I know that all of them know Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
And have been hit deeply by this. But they will, they will not stop. They will still get the information needed and show it to the world for what it is.
If you speak, I mean, it
Yes.
is the risk, but it's worth it. The juice is worth the squeeze.
The juice is so worth the squeeze, and that's just it.
And if you do happen to die standing on the hill of truth, at least, nobody can take that from you, and it will be immortalized forever.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Sancho said, let's just know and say there is no reasoning with these people. They were put on this earth to hurt and bully. That's what I told my friends. Yes, I mean, some people are here just to do that, and just to push buttons, because if you have somebody that, will stop, that just proves their character. That proves they were not in it for the right reasons to begin with. I mean, what did Jesus do as a person? He wouldn't stop just because he got thrown in jail 2 or 3 times.
Same thing with John,
Peter,
and
yeah, all of them from the biblical days.
They were willing to die for their cause. Some of them did.
And that's one thing that we just talked about too. This subject, we do not have enough people willing to die for their own causes.
They won't even get a slap on their wrist or a ticket.
I know, they won't even want to get arrested or. Oh, I don't want to get in that kind of trouble. And it's really funny because we just had Bo. He went into the fire pit, remember, on one of his videos not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
The cops had circled, and he was trying to figure out what was going on. He was in the middle of this whole thing where tear gas was almost deployed.
It was a riot about the Free Palestine movement.
Yeah, and tear gas was almost Floyd, but he was there.
Yeah, he was almost. I mean, he was just somehow pushed right into it. That was freaky. That was a freaky video, dude.
It was.
But yeah, some of these people, it's like they are here, they are there. It's literally a war of spirit and not flesh.
It is very
and
much so.
When you identify as such, then now you can see that they are in fact put here on this earth. Just to test the righteous, just to push the boundaries, just to work for the devil to try and expand that whole thing. It's a game, and we're all players on it, and so it's like a chess match between God and the devil. Those are just the devil's pawns.
Exactly right. Yes.
We have to push back against that, and at least illuminate it and show people the truth about what's going on.
Yeah. Once the truth is gone, then you know. Sancho said, Lawmaker family, can I tell you something as a colleagues? He said, I think I'm able to join the California Conservation Corps. Maybe after I can join the Army Reserve. Let's see if that helps us good/normal people. Hey, wow. That's awesome. If you have that opportunity, then yeah, go for it. If that's something that you believe and that you want to fight for, for sure do it. There's nothing wrong with that.
See, that's what they talk about, the American dream.
Yes.
The left tries to say that the American dream is dead. I'm like, you just want stuff handed to you. It's still all here for those of us that are willing to work for it.
It is, for sure.
The opportunities are absolutely there.
They are.
So that's what Sancho is doing is an example of that, you know.
And yeah, one of the bigger things that I've seen too is what the left think about the immigration problem. And they're like, well, they're just taking the jobs that nobody else wants.
That's horrible.
See, but they're taking the jobs that the corporations are screwing people over on
Yeah.
and not wanting to pay what they're supposed to pay people. That's the problem with it.
Tell me how they get away with hiring people for $3 an hour or less, and then still charging us
Yeah,
like $5 a pound for the crappiest hamburger I've ever seen.
exactly.
You know what? How do they get off by doing that? You know,
Just to make more money.
and it's like they don't have to pay their workers.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. They don't.
All of Los Alamitos racetrack and all the other racetracks down there for that matter, all run off of like illegal immigrants.
Yeah, personally of Los Al because you were down there for a
Yeah,
while.
there's people getting paid like $150 a month to put their freaking like lives on the line working with these horses. You know,
And it's like that's absolutely ridiculous. See, they're happy to take it because that's money that they can send back to their family.
yeah,
But I mean, then the places just throw them to the side,
Yeah.
and then where are they?
Yeah.
They need that same protection that every American has, and that same value to the dollar
Yeah,
that
that's-
every
that's-
American
It
has.
bugs the shit out of me, and it's big. So really, you guys are rallying to keep slaves. Then that's
Yes,
what you're,
that's exactly what it is.
you know, just because they quote unquote have a place to work and live and be, and it's like okay, so they're living 15 to a room and they're working for $3 an hour or less.
Yes,
You know, but that's good for them, right?
perfect.
Dude, I can't get my head around that.
I can't either. All right, let's get on with what he has to say.
Is going to continue to run rampant. And that's what we're trying to stop. We're trying to stop the slaughter of innocent human beings in the womb. But a culture that kills children in the womb without any punishment is a culture of death. And it is going to be a culture that guns down born people that advocate for preborn people. Charlie Kirk and I don't actually agree on everything. We're not, he doesn't know who I am, but like, we're not big fans of each other's ideologies. 6 days ago, Charlie Kirk actually posted a video explaining why he was not an abolitionist, that he did not agree that in our culture, people who purposely, with malice aforethought, destroy babies in the womb should be held responsible. So we disagree about that. We were literally, like last night, I was sitting at my desk working on material that had to do with challenging Charlie Kirk's ideas when it came to criminalizing abortion, because we disagreed. But we agree on so much. And to the lunatics in our culture, that godless, I don't want to make it political, but that, you know, the God-hating folks in our culture that would shoot him and that would see him shot and feel joy, they lump us in the same group because we're unashamed to say that we're following the Lord Jesus Christ, and we're unashamed to push back on all the insanity in our culture. Charlie Kirk was not like a hero of mine, but I did greatly admire him, that he went out, that he didn't just sit on his hands and do nothing. And it did put him on the front lines. And it did cost him his life. And it is a crying shame that the side in our culture that considers themselves open-minded and peaceful and loving and kind and compassionate and concerned about gun violence is actually aware that all of their arguments are such trash that they can't compete in a battle of ideas. They can't actually come to the marketplace of ideas and discuss them and win. They have to give up, and they have to take up guns, and they have to gun us down. Charlie Kirk was trying to do something good in this world. I'm convinced of that. And the people who shot him were trying to do something evil. And the evil that they carried out against Charlie Kirk is not going to have the effect that they wanted. More people are going to talk. More people are going to stand up. People that already go onto the college campuses to engage students, to get them to think about what they're learning and how it applies and how it leads to death. We're going to continue doing what we're doing without fear, without compromise. And sadly,
Yes, I absolutely love what this guy is saying. I mean, it's exactly right. He's calling for uh, the the standing up of all the people that do this, saying we will not stand for this. That Charlie's death will not be in vain. I mean, he's exactly right. More people need to know, and more people need to stand up and be to this. That these people, this is not going to have the effect that they wanted. People are not stepping down.
If anything, it'll be worse. There'll be more of them, hopefully.
Exactly.
So it's a righteous warfare.
Exactly.
And see, so here's proof that you don't have to agree with somebody, but you don't need to have them killed.
No, and he said that he's like last night I was just sitting down trying to come up with another side to go and go back against Charlie with, and then he's like, today this happened.
It's crazy.
Sancho said, family, one thing I should tell you is coincidentally I worked filthy, disgusting jobs most of my life for nothing, and this is the manosphere and anti-left talking points. Again, if the left wings call you right wing or conservative or something like that, that means you're doing something right or you are a normal good person.
Makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
And it's like, this is absolutely amazing to hear the abolitionists, saying like, hey, we didn't agree on a lot of things.
And I'm
But
still
yet-
sad that he's on,
Yeah, that, I still do not condone or go with this. He did not deserve it.
I mean, there's been people like on the other side that stuff has happened to, and I still feel empathy and sympathy for
Yes.
the exact same reason, for their families. Like, put yourself in that position. Like, how in the hell are they feeling?
Exactly. That's
Like,
exactly right.
They totally lack empathy.
Yeah, they do.
So selfish.
Well, that's the biggest problem.
Self-centered.
Yeah, the self-centered, egotistical way that they think.
Like I said, it's Satanism or Setiism is a worship and a love of self.
Yes.
And what are they always talking about these days? I mean, you need self-care, you need self-love, you need to love yourself, make sure that it starts with you, and all of
Yes.
this is all self-centered. So
Exactly
it's
right.
It's made it so they cannot possibly empathize with anything outside of their world, because it's not my problem, it's not me.
Another tactic by the tyrannical governments too.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're all working for the devil.
We got a new person, Robert Sando. It baffles me how people just laugh at that.
I know.
Exactly, Robert. It stuns me. It's amazing that these people can be like, oh, I'm so glad that somebody's been unalived.
Like, I won't do it tonight because it would just be disrespectful, but we've got a feminist video just talking about, like, well, I'm just finding it really hard to hear. I don't give two F's about what's going on, and it's like, he had it coming. Around and find out.
He's a racist.
Yeah, and it's like, that's what you get, and it's like, he had a family,
Yeah. His family, and that's the hardest part of this all, is that, as I've said a couple of times already, his daughters will never get to see him again. His wife will never get to see him again. It was supposed to just be a normal, go to the college and debate.
He was just throwing hats just before that.
Yeah.
Doing his hat throwing thing, and all smiles and everything. And
Exactly. All right, let's finish up the abolitionist, and thank you for joining us, Robert.
When I get up and I go out, the next time I go out, I'm not going to think about it as just going to talk to some college kids. I'm going to think about it as like going to freaking war, because the other side doesn't want to just put forward arguments. I believe that Charlie Kirk was shot because 98% of the time, the person who's asking the question and accusing him of being a racist or being everything that he's not is an absolute troll idiot who's trying to defend a completely base and idiotic worldview that cannot be defended with reason. And that side has dug themselves so deep into their own stupidity that they know they have no argument. And all they have left is violence. And because of them and how they are, and a lot of people are going to be like, you're lumping them all together. I'm not lumping them all together. You understand that Charlie Kirk was a man who was hated. He couldn't even go sit under a tent and talk without tons of students coming forward and just walking up to the microphone and hating him. We know that hate is murder. And the moment somebody gets to the point where they have nothing to live for, and people with the worldview that's at odds with God, people who don't know Christ, do not have anything to live for. And whenever they figure that out, and in their hate and their malice, they realize that there's nothing for them anyway, they're going to take up arms and they're going to do as much damage as they possibly can. And so they're putting us all on the front lines. They're taking what should be just an ideological discussion, an evangelical debate. They're taking that and they're turning it into freaking warfare. I've got a wife, I've got kids, and I've got to go do what I do. And now I've got to buy Kevlar. I gotta buy Kevlar so I can go talk to college kids about whether or not human beings have rights and whether or not they should agree with what science has already revealed, that life begins at conception. I've got to put on freaking Kevlar now. The other side is not open-minded. They do not have a right, reasonable, rational, intelligent, scientific, or theologically sound, philosophically valid view of the world. Everything they're doing is inept, and it's driving this country into despair and death over and over. And they love death because they hate God, who is the author of life. And as we continue to push back against their darkness, things could get rough. We are seeing it, and there is no denying.
You know, it's funny because it's exactly what I've been saying. It's like we're reaching the points right now with woke ideology being pushed away, that the left is getting very vulnerable, and very much they are going to push back as hard as they can.
Death throes.
Death throws and whatever, dirty blows, whatever the hell it's.
Like I say, death throes because that's like something an animal does at the end of its
Yeah.
life before it's snuffed out, and then all of a sudden it just starts flailing around.
Exactly.
You know?
That's exactly right.
And then it's like you can do a lot of damage that way, but inevitably you're going down.
Yes. Robert, sin starts in the heart, and this tells me a lot about the world today.
Agreed.
It's exactly right, and it's like we need more people pushing back with the ways that it should be. as far as family values. I mean, Charlie Kirk was perfect on that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously, like we said, there wasn't all that we agreed on with the political, ideologies and
But
stuff.
his family values and
But his
all his
fam-
other
yeah.
life values were like spot on to me, I think.
Exactly.
And I think that like we just went too far by letting people be like, it's okay if you don't want to have children. Not everybody's called to have children. Okay, that's fine. And then it's like it's okay that you feel like a woman. Some of us are put into the wrong body. And
Yes.
it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Until all of a sudden it wasn't okay anymore. And it's like we've already given so much that it's like,
Yes.
but you said it was okay for me to feel this way. And they're like being so radical and extreme about it.
Exactly. I mean, that's the biggest thing.
It's really hard to put back in the bottle, because we've already allowed so much.
Yes.
And so you have now over 25% of the population either unwilling or unable to procreate and have children. The family values are totally whacked in every demographic. You have fatherlessness, single mothers.
Yes, the fatherlessness is one of the biggest issues that we have, because a lot of the fathers are being either pushed out of the kids' lives, or they don't give a damn about the kids, and they
Right.
just take off from the woman and say, "Oh well, it's not my worry. The
Right.
woman has to worry about it," and it's hurting these kids so badly, and that's the generations that we're seeing growing up,
Right.
and that's where a lot of the problem is.
Yeah, I see it. It's like just about every blue-haired girl that has a nose ring
Yes.
and tattoos all over her arms and everything. It's like, yep, she didn't have a father. You can tell.
Exactly.
I grew up that way, but I had the wherewithal to see outside of the box and like see where I
Thankfully,
had
yes.
been like going wrong. But it took getting into a relationship with you and us struggling with that polarized dynamic for so long that it wasn't working.
Exactly.
So I said, fine, you take care of it. And then all of a sudden stuff started falling into place,
Yeah.
And so again, came right back around to traditional family values.
And
that's safest.
handing it over, giving
Yes.
it back, and just being like, "Hey, I will trust in the process."
Yes.
That's another thing.
Faith.
Is a lot of people do not have the faith nor the ability to hand it over. So many people are like, "No, I have to control this. I have to control that."
And like I said, if you are in fact a strong, independent woman and you can make your own money and you have made your money and stuff, why not just give the other way a try? If you're
Yes.
struggling in your love life and it's just not working, why not just give yourself 6 months to let the guy be in control and you take care of the domestic stuff and you do this and your part of femininity and he does his part of masculinity.
Exactly.
Just 6 months and see where it takes you. I mean, I would even say in a month or 3, but okay, give it 6. And if your life isn't completely and totally 100% better by then go back to being that independent woman. Go back to making your own money.
You have nothing lost.
You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
What 6 months out of your entire life?
Exactly.
And that's what I did. I said, I'll pick stuff back up in 6 months. What harm could be done? And I was like surprised,
Yes.
and then it was relieved, and then I don't have those worries anymore.
Thank the gods for that.
It's crazy. It's funny
Yes.
how that works. And faith is the biggest thing. It's like, even if you don't have faith in your partner, if you have faith in the Most High,
Yes.
you're going to be taken care of no matter what.
And it's like both of us were the product of divorce.
Yes.
Both of us had to deal with that, and it's like that's another big issue, is divorce in this world.
Mm-hmm.
This world sees divorce as, oh well, I'll sign these papers, and then if I want, I can just get out of it.
Yeah.
Not, let's work through this. Let's get through the hard stuff.
Right.
Let's see where we really stand.
Right.
How tough we really are. No, it's, oh well, I don't like this. I'm just gonna get out of it.
Irreconcilable differences,
Yes.
That's the stupidest crap I've ever heard.
Exactly. I want my way.
Yep.
And it's absolutely ridiculous in this day and age that we live in. More people need to see it that way.
Yeah, they need to see the struggle and understand that the struggle is like the whole point.
Yes. All right, boy, finish up him now.
Denying it, So please pray for people who get up and go out and do what Charlie Kirk was trying to do. And if you are someone who does that, don't stop. Ultimately, God is sovereign. He is in control. Everything that is happening in accordance with his will. And so I pray that this does not do anything what the guy who shot Charlie Kirk wanted it to do, but does the opposite. And instead of people staying home or being fearful, we stand up fearlessly and walk in the sovereignty of God and in his providence and continue to engage the culture of death with the gospel of life and the gospel that saves souls and saves people and will change this culture to where we no longer have to deal with this kind of insane violence. You shouldn't have to get on social media and watch people that you kind of agree with and kind of disagree with and follow on a regular basis have blood pouring out of their neck because some idiot can't defend his worldview. Anyway, there's a ton to say. I recorded a video immediately after this happened. I came home. I prayed with my family. My kids, they didn't know what was going on. They didn't know why mom and dad were like bawling. They couldn't figure it out. Because what my kids do not need to think about and dwell on whenever I leave the house to go do outreach. They don't need to think, oh man, my dad's going to get shot today. But I'm a Christian and I live in a culture that thinks that Christians ought to be shot. And it's not going to change by us choosing to keep our gospel to ourselves. It's only going to change by us taking our gospel, the good news that Christ came, lived, and died for sinners so that sinners could be set free from their sin, walk in newness of life, and return to a right relationship with him. That and that message alone, that call that people need to repent of loving and serving themselves and serving the satanic forces, that repenting and walking in that newness of life is the only way that we're going to ever be safe. And to get there, we're going to have to walk without fear. So I know there's no editing, there's no script, it's just a message. For everyone who watches our channel and everyone who wonders, maybe you're wondering. I know I'm wondering. I know my family's wondering. I know the staff's wondering. Does this affect what we're going to do or how we're going to live? No, it doesn't. In fact, I think we're going to have to increase our activity in the world for the glory of God and for the good of all of our neighbors. It is a war. I didn't want it to be a war. No one who does what I do wants to use war metaphors. I don't want to go, I'm going out onto the front lines to fight the battle and all that kind of stuff. You kind of feel like you're, getting too grandiose and dramatic about your job. I'm going to go stand behind a sign and pass out little pieces of paper to college students and talk to the ones that'll talk to me and, be nice to the ones who won't. I'm going to call that war. But I think we all know it's war. It's dangerous and it should not be done without prayer, and it should not be done without a knowledge and understanding that our life is but a vapor. And we only get to serve God with the time that we have. So get out there and do it. Pay attention. So we're going to be up in our game here. Abolitionist Rising.
I mean, wow. I've never seen his stuff like that. Like, that was really passionate for him. Sandra said, if you ask me, I think the left wing was always bad. Malcolm X said that white liberals were there to look good and that they are bad. I mean, yeah, they're always gonna be like that. And fortunately, you have to go and speak your truth. Know your truth, speak it.
And it can't even, honestly, it can't be your truth. It just has to be the truth.
Yeah, the truth.
Because everybody has, like,
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
living my truth, and it's like I've come to not like that at all. It's like there really is only one truth.
Yes.
And it's like you know it. It's written on your heart.
Yes,
know?
it is the truth.
And
That's exactly right.
You have to stand up for that. And like, I used to be like a libertarian, meaning you do your thing, I'll do mine, as long as we don't interfere with each other and I don't have a problem with you.
Yes.
But at some point, that led to people having a lot of interferences with each other. Like bans off my body, they say, but let's mandate vaccines. Do you
Yes.
see? And it was the same side saying that. Like,
Exactly. And it's like, wait, what?
And so, women's health care is one thing, but, actual health care is another, like, no, there's only the truth. And that's like the government should have a limited amount to do with the things that you do with your health.
That's exactly right.
But people have got to stand in it. They've got to, like,
Yes.
figure it out. So,
5 people watching.
okay.
And Sancho says, sometimes I have fantasies where I made some colony or more where we are scapegoats and we survive.
Mm-hmm. All the time.
Yes.
The best thing we did was make a monastery, but it was for that same reason. We wanted to live outside of this social construct
Of
as
what
possible.
of what the norm was, yeah.
Right. So we don't like physically engage in any of these things, but we bring it through YouTube as like our point of view. Just because this is what we used to do when you came home from work.
Well, yeah, we used to. This is just it. We used to talk.
Yeah.
We'd sit by the heater and just have our conversations. And we thought, well, we might as well just bring our conversations to YouTube and see if anybody else, likes it or anybody else. Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Is it's like we're here to bring you guys all the information that we have. Why the Western ways is falling apart, and what really needs to happen and be stepped up on.
It really just comes down to retaining some sort of moral, spiritual center.
Yes, that's the biggest.
And not the new agey, you are God yourself kind of love, but something where you actually have to relinquish yourself to something more than yourself.
Yeah, you have to, and it's like all the atheists out there is just.
That's life on easy mode,
Yeah, it's like, well, I don't want to believe in that. I don't want to believe in this.
Well, it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, because there is something higher. No matter what people want to say, there is something higher than yourself. And as long as you just surrender to whatever you see fit that is, life can be so much easier.
Yeah, to give yourself a moral set of rules that pretty much mimics all the other rules of humanity. Don't kill each other, don't steal from each other, don't, lust after don't lust after anybody.
Yes.
Don't take your neighbor's girlfriend, don't, screw your husband's friend, you just don't do those things. You make these higher set of actual rules and add in, service to others and living below your means and like thinking simply, being mindful.
Exactly.
That's like it, and that just elevates you. You live in faith, knowing that you're going to be taken care of one way or the other.
Perfectly said there.
It's easy.
You just got to know. All right, I want to look at something really fast here on my YouTube. I'm going to see if we got any information on the killer. So you guys can come along and see my YouTube really fast.
The algorithm was just filled with everything to do with this.
Yeah, everything. see if I
There's a
can.
guy I get my UFO news from, and even he had stuff.
Yeah. I gotta get this. There we go. It's going down. Okay. I mean that one was crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, right here, trying to get to it. This one here, Agenda Free TV. That's where all my news sources, for the most part, comes from. Great place to go. Like I said, he doesn't just say any source. It's
Yeah, he's really non-biased.
yeah, it's exactly what it is. You know, if he sees it and can prove it to you.
He gets feeds from people that are like there on the ground sometimes, like
Yeah.
in person. So really good station.
Something from David Hammond, which I've grown away from his stuff. You know, obviously Ben Shapiro, but all of
Yeah.
those are all lives and stuff. And I didn't want to do any more lives.
Any news, like just from the news section?
Let's see. And eventually we got Curly Boy Chuck here, who has one finding out Charlie died while I was filming. Let me go here. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see.
You can go to the agenda free.
It's over now.
Well, then you can replay it. Not that it matters.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find anything. You guys can't see this, but just give me a second. Okay, Charlie Kirk shooting. Trump calls killing dark moment. Person of interest was released. Okay, so it says manhunt for Charlie Kirk shooter after 2 suspects released.
Dude,
So they still haven't gotten anybody. That was 3 hours ago.
I mean, and I would stand to believe that this was a group of people that had done this anyway, rather than just a single one.
What, hun?
I would say that it was a group of people that did this anyway.
I would too. Well, I'll try to update you guys on this, like with shorts or something, if I can, as I find out. But I mean, this was truly a sad day that this even happened. Again, to his family, I am deeply saddened, and I really hope that you guys are able to get the closure that you need to move on. I just hope that the person is caught and is able to get their peace either way, no matter what happens. You know, his daughters, I hope that they go on to be some of the most amazing women out there that follow their daddy's standards. That's the biggest thing, you know. Hopefully this doesn't ruin their take on everything.
If they have good faith, and I don't think that it will, but you know, that's what the left is hoping, that to be able to turn them into
Yes,
the same kind of creatures that killed their father.
that's exactly right. So
So tonight when you do prayers, make sure to watch out. This kitten. Sniffing that. Tonight when you do prayers, make sure that you don't not only pray for Charlie's family, but for everybody that's out here speaking truth,
yes,
and pray for our courage and safety. And you know, like the street preachers that go, you know, all the way down to small YouTubers like us that just put it out there and witness
Yes.
and record, you know, and pray for every truth giver to be illuminated and protected.
yes, especially every truth giver.
Yeah.
You know, those that will make sure that the truth is said.
Yeah. There's not a lot of them.
No, we need a lot more.
Yeah.
We really do. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Thank you, Sancho. Thank you, Robert. Anybody else watching? Again, thank you. Like as I said before, I'll try to do updates on what's going on with this. But thank you, everybody.
That's what we know so far.
And our prayers and heartfelt condolences are sent that way to his family.
Did you do the end credits?
Let's do that fast because that was getting set to go. See, right? Do the special thanks really fast. Oh. That up. For anybody else out there, if you want to be on this list, we have our Patreon and requested anything more growth to help grow this channel. Okay, and it's always a blessing having you on, Joe. Have a great night. Have a good night, Robert. Thank you.